Hello, good evening, and good afternoon, good morning, depending where you are. Welcome to Connect Africa. We are so, happy and excited and, ready to release all we have to you. And welcome everyone. And as we have said, every Thursday and every Tuesday, we are here. But this week, last week, we have been here almost every day, bringing you, following the news from Niger and other things. Many things are happening in the continent and outside the continent, but that are really impacting us Africans. So, to deliver that, actually, our brother Kwame Gonza is here. Welcome, Kwame.
Thank you, Mahlet. Greetings to everyone. We are glad to be here once again. We've been here for almost the whole week since Monday, talking about the continent and what is happening on the continent, all the other issues which are affecting the continent. I'm really glad to be here once again, and I send greetings to everyone who's watching and supporting the channel. Continue doing that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kwame, for that. So we have been talking about every day, especially this week. Our topic has been about Niger, but today not only we update you in what's happening in Niger, but also we are going to bring to you regarding Haiti, the chaos in Haiti, and Africans' involvement there of the politics of deploying troops or this peacekeeping mission or whatever it is. So related to that, Kenya, we has just announced that they have deployed troops to Haiti, and that has been welcomed by the United States. And as you know, here at Connect Africa, every time when something is welcomed by the United States, that's what actually we want to pick and analyze left and right. So let's start with our Niger update, Kwame. So since last night we just read the news while we were live streaming. Nigeria, ECOWAS, okay, but led by specifically by Nigeria, has cut power to Niger on the poor people of Niger. Now, how do you see that? And also, ECOWAS, late at night yesterday, kind of, they are saying now, no, the military intervention is the last resort. So, what are we watching? How are we going to translate this? It's two different questions, but let's start with the power cuts.
Yeah, thank you, Malet. Thank you very much. Yeah, it is unfortunate that Nigeria is behaving, in this kind of way. I think the first thing they should have done is to be able to have contact with these generals who have taken over power and have a discussion with them, and not in a way of coercing and making ultimatums, but first understanding what happened in the country, because I believe that they have not done that. Instead, what you see, they are approaching the situation with the same rhetoric which Tinubu of Nigeria, the president of Nigeria, started with when he was in Kenya, when he was in Nairobi. He's talking about he will not accept the coup because he is the chairperson right now of ECOWAS. So he's trying to show himself as if he's seriously working. And I think that this approach may somewhat backfire because we have seen that one of the updates that have happened in this development is that Niger, the leader of the current leader of the transitional council, has said that they will not agree on to any coercion and any threat. They will not take any threat, and they say that they reject also the sanctions which were imposed on Niger. And of course, France also has continued to take out its people and other Europeans. I hear that India also was helped by France to take out its citizens from Niger. And of course, the French, you see them on their TV stations of, continuously talking about what is happening, and it has pained them. Of course, they are talking about it as the French, but they are talking about it because it has pained them. And somewhat when they are talking about it on their networks, their media networks like France 24, you can see that the French are really terrified. They are scared that maybe they might have blackouts in their country, and they might not have access to the uranium and the gold, of course, which Niger has said that we will not export any more of the gold and the uranium to France. So you can see that even when the French are speaking, their commentators, when they are talking, you can see it in their faces that they are terrified. They are scared that maybe France might slide, as one of their presidents mentioned it. I think it was Jacques Chirac who mentioned that France would slide into, into a third world. So I think they somewhat think about those words as coming to pass, and then they are terrified even right now when they are talking. You can see it, like I've said, in their eyes. And the United States also, of course, has come out. Joe Biden has come out in this situation to try to issue his threats. He's saying that he's calling for the reinstatement. But of course, we know what the United States is trying to do. Is trying to intimidate the transitional council. Is trying to intimidate the generals who have taken over the power. So on the other hand, also, news has been going around that one of the generals who is part of the coup visited Mali yesterday. So what we suspect is that they were talking about coordinating, because Mali and Burkina Faso issued a statement and said that any attack on Niger will be an attack on us, and we will take it as a declaration of war on Mali and Burkina Faso. And of course, Guinea also offered some support in this line. So I think that this will also send a message. This will send a very strong message. Their visit, I think, it will send a very strong message to ECOWAS, which is, playing around with the saying that they will go and invade Niger. And we saw also that yesterday, after the meeting of the chief of staffs, or the military chiefs of staffs of ECOWAS, these are the military commanders of the army commanders of the various countries in ECOWAS. They met yesterday, and when they met, they said that the attack will be the last resort, will be an issue of last resort, but they want to first use diplomacy. So this also could be a sign that they are backtracking because of the statements which were issued by Mali in the morning, Mali and Burkina Faso. So it could be a sign that they are backtracking on their threats which they had issued at first, that that they will go and attack. But of course, the coup leaders in Niger have said that they will not be coerced. And so we are waiting to see what will happen after Sunday, when they have not reinstated President Bazoum, Mohamed Bazoum. What will happen, whether ECOWAS will be able to follow up on its threat that is going to invade. I saw news going around also that President Macky Sall has offered his military that it will join ECOWAS if ECOWAS is going to invade. So he has reiterated that he will offer his military to join the ECOWAS contingent. But in all this, is Nigeria which is leading this, and they are the ones who are pumping their chest up very much. The President Tinubu, even though the citizens, they don't want this, but it is President Tinubu who is pumping his chest very high, and he thinks that he can do this, even though Nigeria, up to now, it has struggled to stop the Boko Haram, and has failed to stop the Boko Haram for almost 15 years. The Boko Haram have failed to stop, in Nigeria. They have failed to defeat Nigeria. The Nigerian army has failed to defeat the Boko Haram in the northern part of the country. So when they say that they want to attack Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso, I doubt what kind of strength they are claiming that they have. Of course, I've heard one of the diplomats in Nigeria saying that they will have cover the Americans and the Europeans will give them air cover to cover the ground troops of the Nigeria, so that they can be able to carry it out. But what I see is that if this is done, then a lot of chaos is going to develop in the country, and the whole region is going to break out in a lot of chaos. Because if Mali and Burkina Faso and Niger come together and they start fighting, and they are being supported by Algeria, there's going to break, a lot of chaos is going to break out in the region, which will be very unfortunate. So that is why, it would be wise for us to approach this issue with a lot of wisdom, with a lot of understanding, and with a lot of consultation.
Yeah.
And it is majorly right now important for us to look at the reasons why the coup happened, not just the coup. And that is what everyone has been saying, that we have to look at the reasons why the coups have been happening. Exactly. The African people are impoverished, and ECOWAS was looking the other side. Even in Nigeria itself, Chevron, Shell, they have been polluting and killing our people and stealing the oil. This Nigerian army is on the side, has been on the side of Chevron and Shell, and they have been stealing from the African people, the resources of the African people. So there's no sign that these people want to address the burdens, the complaints of the African people when it comes to the stealing of the resources, but rather they are more interested in putting back the Africans in the bondage of neo-colonialism, so that we can be, controlled more and more further and further. So this is what is unfortunate. But the coup leaders have mobilized, have called on the country during this independence. Niger is going through today is its Independence Day celebration. So during the independence celebrations, the coup leaders have called on to the population to come together, to work together, to be able to defend the country. So this is a sign that they are mobilizing the population, and this is another, a hurdle. It's sort of like another hurdle for ECOWAS. It means that now it is going to be even more difficult for ECOWAS if the country is unified, and then it has Burkina Faso and Mali on the other side, and is being supported by Algeria and maybe Guinea to some extent. And of course, I know that Wagner also will be in to be able to support them. It's going to be a very big and a serious problem for ECOWAS if they attempt to go in there, that they want to use force. And the chaos will engulf the whole region and even the whole African continent, which will be very unfortunate.
Thank you very much, Kwame. Very clear, straight to the ear. Really, I really loved it how you break it down. Just one quick question, though, just so we know who is who in ECOWAS. Now we have seen Mali and Burkina Faso are publicly, they have said it, they are standing with Niger, right, against ECOWAS. Nigeria, they say it loud and clear, they're against it, and Tinubu is doing all the nonsense speech. Now, Senegal, we have heard. Can we just divide them? We haven't seen Guinea Conakry, who we expected that we would hear from, like Mali and Burkina Faso would support what Niger is going through.
Yeah.
So can you just show us which one is on which category in ECOWAS?
Yeah, I think the people who are likely to be instrumental in contributing to the troops, you can talk of Nigeria is the one which is making a lot of noise. And of course, not the Nigerian people, but the Nigerian president, Tinubu, is the one who's making a lot of noise. Of course, he represents the Nigerian people. He's the president of the country as per now, even though, of course, the election is still contested right now. Even the case is still in court. Other candidates who contested in the elections, the Nigerian presidents, they are still contesting to remove him from power because they think that the election was rigged. So it is even laughable somehow to see that a person whose election is still being contested is making a lot of noise and legitimizing himself as a legitimate president and someone who is a flag bearer of democracy and stuff like that. But of course, that is not the topic of the day.
Let me just interject there because our viewers should not miss this. But on the other hand, it's very speaking for itself what he's doing, because perhaps he's afraid of what's gonna come back at him, right?
Yeah, it's possible that that fear may be in there for Tinubu, because the election is still contested, and the case is in court. The court has not ruled on it finally, to be able to reach a position or a conclusion or a judgment on whether Tinubu should be removed from office or he should stay in office. And of course, it is unlikely that they will remove him since they have already sworn him in, but we will see what happens. But of course, this could also be a driving issue. But Nigeria is the one which is driving under Tinubu. And you can talk of course, Ivory Coast also. I know it is likely to contribute because Al-Hassan Ouattara himself is a big puppet. It's a very dangerous puppet for not only the West African region, but also the African continent. He changed his constitution. He did a coup himself in Ivory Coast, and he was supported by France. The same people who are talking about democracy, they supported him to do a coup on the constitution in Ivory Coast. He finished his 2 terms, and then he adjusted the constitution and added himself a 3rd term. And actually, when he was coming to power, they removed President Laurent Gbagbo because President Laurent Gbagbo was fighting for Africans, was fighting so that the Africans can take back Ivory Coast and own it, Cote d'Ivoire and own it. So the French did not like him. So when President Gbagbo was doing the same thing which Ouattara did, they forced him out with the UN troops, the French troops, the American troops. They went in and removed him from power. Even they have been persecuting him in Europe, in the ICC, and they have been claiming that he caused the death of civilians. But Ouattara has done the same thing. They have just supported him. So this goes on to show you that these countries are not about democracy. They are about stealing Africa's resources. And I want that to be very clear, that America and Europe, they don't represent democracy. They don't represent human rights. If anything, they are the ones who have violated the most Africa's human rights and killed our people in the Congo. They killed more than 20 million people. Belgium, Germany killed more than 10 million people in Namibia. And the United States has killed numerous people across the world. So these are not the right people to be talking about human rights and democracy, because they do not represent, these ideas. So this, I want people to understand it very well. So you can see that Ivory Coast is going to be part, and Ghana is also likely to be part, because Akufo-Addo has also, defined himself as some sort of puppet. So Ghana is likely to be a part of this. And I can speak of also Senegal. I've spoken about President Macky Sall. He's someone who is not very strong in his position. And even a few days, he banned the opposition in his country. His major competitor, Sonko, he banned his political party and said that he was, instigating chaos in the country. So this shows that he's intolerant, and he's willing to play with the imperialists to protect himself. And so that is what he has done, that he has agreed also to contribute to the ECOWAS contingent force. So we see Nigeria, Ivory Coast, Senegal, and Ghana is also likely to contribute to this adventure, which could be, disastrous and very dangerous. These are the major countries that I see that might be, in the position. Of course, Guinea-Bissau also might contribute some troops, because Guinea-Bissau, there was an attempted coup. So he may see this as an opportunity also to show ECOWAS that he's in support of ECOWAS, so that if there's an attempted coup in his country also, they may come and help him next time. Because the first time the coup failed, but it looks like that discontent may still be boiling under in Guinea-Bissau. So he's likely also to contribute troops to this contingent.
Thank you very much, Kwame. That was really, really, again, a very insightful information. I thank you for that, and on behalf of my viewers as well. Some people are already expressing, for this, thanking you for this valuable information. Now let's go. Still, we are revolving around Niger and how the continent, is behaving related to what's happening in Niger. Tell me, what is the future of, this in continuation what we just talked about? What is the future of the African continent? Should the West be allowed to continue in this direction of pitting Africans against themselves? I mean, we saw this during the Biafra war in Nigeria, where the French and British were, supporting each side for the oil. What is the future? If so, then what is the future of the continent? Wisdom not be applied in approaching situations like what we are seeing in Niger currently. Is it not necessary that all African heads of states come together with an open mind to solve these problems before something we have never seen happens, because that's very possible on this in our continent. And I hope you are following me, and I'm sure the West, which wants to control Africa's population, is going to sit on the side and laugh and clap at this as an achievement on their side. What is the future of our continent?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah,
So if you look at the events which have developed, the events which are developing are very unfortunate, and the genesis of these events or the root cause is not being addressed. But you could see this tension at the Russia Africa summit when it happened. We mentioned this when President Ibrahim Traore mentioned the problems on the continent. Why are we poor? He was asking a couple of questions. Why are we poor? Why are we this? And then on the other side, President Museveni was pointing out the what he thinks is the reason why Africa is poor, why we are going around the world begging. So President Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso was asking, why are we going around the world begging, yet we have the resources? Why are we the ones who are poor? Why are we the ones who are always spoken about as the last in everything? We are not regarded across. So these questions, I think they cut very deep to majority of the leaders who are sitting there. But of course, some of them who are in power, they are very adamant. But I think President Museveni, during his speech, was a little bit, touched, and he tried to respond. But even his response, uh, of course, I was not I was not satisfied with it. That he did not give the right, the deserving, I think, response. I think the deserving response would have been, in that case, to come and talk to this young man, because he's a young man. He has come to power at around almost the same age, at at the same age which President Museveni himself came to power, and Museveni also came to power with the military. I think he should have been in a much better position to understand this young man and even talk to him, or even say, I'm going to pay you a visit in Burkina Faso, or pay me a visit in Uganda, and let's talk about this. I want to listen to you. I think this could have been the best, approach of a statesman, because you
let
are
me just
almost
say
in
that
the
you
same
are
position.
tipping. Let me just say that you are tipping Museveni's advisor right now. Go on, please.
Yeah, so you can see that in Mali, you see that JJ Rawlings, before he died, actually, this is what happened even when JJ Rawlings had not died, who was the president of Ghana, former president of Ghana, President JJ Rawlings. When the coup happened in Mali, these young people, they came to Ghana to try to meet JJ. They met JJ Rawlings before he died. I think it was 2021 or 2020 or 2021, before he died, because he died later of COVID. But they came to speak to him because he is the one who would understand their position, why they have overthrown a government. So they came to speak to President JJ Rowling for advice. So I believe that even in this case, President Seven, as an elder statesman who has been in this position of fighting against an existing government and overthrowing it, and even himself coming to power, should be in a position to settle these problems. And he is already an elder statesman on the continent. But what he gave some simplistic, solutions which are not even easy to to understand what he's talking about, and which you cannot go and say I'm maintaining, I'm implementing in my country. He just said that when he was giving his speech, he's talking about the trade imbalance between Africa and the West. For example, he gave the example of coffee. We are growing coffee in Africa and South America. And then the total value of coffee which is being produced, the money which comes from coffee every year is around $460 billion. But the countries of the South, Brazil, and Africa, and all the other countries in Asia, they get around $25 billion. So the 400 and some sort of $35 billion all goes to the Western countries. So they are importing actually raw materials. They are using the global South in the same way they used it during colonialism, that they remove raw materials, they make us growers of cash crops. And then they increase the tax. If we process, for example, the coffee and take it to their market, they don't want to buy it. They put a huge tax whereby we cannot be able to sell in the European market and make a profit. But they remove taxes from the raw coffee which is coming from our countries, so that their people can process it and create jobs in their country and sell it at around 40 times or even 20 times more the price which they buy it from us. So they end up getting huge amounts of money. So this was the discrepancy. So he was pointing to President Ibrahim Traore, and telling him that this is the problem. This is the problem. I believe that he's right. I believe that President Museveni is right to say that is the problem, but that's not how to address the problem, because you are supposed to show the young man how do we address this problem. That is the question. It is easy to say this is the problem, but you can't say that we should address the trade issue. The trade issue, who is going to address this trade issue? It is addressed at the political level. These are political decisions. So that means we have to come together and address these problems or at the political level, because you are not going to tell business people that in your country they should go and fight for the removal of taxes from the European Union so that you can be able to bring in your processed goods or finished goods, or even to block them from taking materials and processed goods from your country in form of materials. You are supposed to work on yourself as a continent together. And this is what is missing, that when you bring the issue of working together, then they start rationalizing it. But then on one side, they talk as if they understand the problem, what the problem is. But then when you tell them that let us come together to address the problem, everyone has been talking and saying Africa is being abused across the world. A negative, narrative is being spread about Africa across the world. Even Akufo-Addo spoke about it. Majority of them, the African presidents, speak about it. But when President Abiy was speaking at the 35th ordinary session of the African Union in 2021 and told them that let us come together and create our own media house so that we can be able to put out the African narrative, no one responded. So this is the dilemma that we are in as the African continent, that we are faced with multiplicity of problems, but how to address it, people are not always forthcoming when it comes to coming together to address these problems. So there's a discrepancy now, what we are seeing in how we are looking at the continent, the next generation, because Museveni and all these other leaders, these other heads of state who are existing right now on the continent, they represent the second generation of Africans after independence, because the Nkrumahs and that group was the President Mugabe's, that was the first generation after independence. Now they represent the second generation. Now we already have the third generation has come after independence. And of course, you can speak of the people like Ruto, you can speak of people like Prime Minister Abiy. This is the generation which is coming, and all the others who are around their 30 years and going upwards, from 30 years going upwards, or maybe you can even go all the way up to 25, but I think around 35 going upwards to 50. This is the third generation. So for us, how we look at the continent compared to the second generation is different. We look at it differently. And so there's a problem there, that right now for us, we are more concerned about solving the economic challenge and pushing our people upward. economically and socially. We are more concerned about economic and social upward mobility, but at the same time maintaining the independence. Yet for them, the second generation, I think some sort of what they always emphasize, the independence part, the political independence part of it. Of course, we also understand that the political independence part of it is important, and we understand that is where most of the decisions are supposed to be made, the political and social economic, decisions are supposed to be made. But now for them, there is an overemphasis on the attainance of political independence, and they don't pay a lot of attention to the social economic progress and upward mobility of socio economically. They pay it very little service, that somewhat they do not understand the urgency of this issue, that we should be able to achieve it quickly, and they are the ones, or the political space is the one which is supposed to implement these things very quickly. So there is some vagueness in understanding what is supposed to be done. So that is why we are seeing that there's a lot of confusion, even though some of them are always talking about raw materials. We should not continue to export raw materials, but they are not implementing what is supposed to be done urgently, as much urgent. So this puts us at odds now. What we are seeing, that the future of the continent, it becomes somewhat bleak at this point, because the enemy is seeing this now. And because the enemy is seeing this, he's taking advantage of this. And that is what you are seeing, that the old are being pitted against the young. And that is what we are seeing, that the older generation is being pitted against the young one. And who is pumping them up? The ones who have the power, who have the political power, who think that the only time you can now be able to use the political power urgently is to put down an insurrection in the continent. But when it comes to addressing the socio-economic issues, you are not using the political power in urgency. And this has become a problem. So the enemy is taking hold of this and using it, because he's seeing these cracks which we have between the African continent. Now, we spoke about here Henry Kissinger. He published a document, the National Security Memorandum 200. I would like the people who want to check it, they can check it. It's about population, the United States' strategy of maintaining its position in regard, by looking at the population of the world. It has to maintain the population of the world to a certain level, so that they can be able to control the world and control the resources of the world. So that means that they use all types of means. And one of the means which were suggested in that document by Kissinger is the use of contraceptives, emphasizing contraceptives and all those. So this one is not a conspiracy theory, actually. I want people to go out there on the internet and check out this document. The document is called National Social Security, I think National Security Memoranda 200. So you can Google that document on or is on population control of the world. So when you have a situation like this, they will pump up ECOWAS, and on the other side you have Mali, Burkina, and you have Guinea, maybe Guinea, you have Burkina Faso, you have Mali, you have Niger. And now when you cause a clash, you have this clash. If 1 million people die in this war, in this chaos, they are achieving their objectives.
Yeah.
You see, they are happy when you are fighting against each other. Because at the end of the day, if these governments, the ones which are led by people like Tinubu, are able to win, then they have achieved it twice in this case. They have killed off the population which they don't want. They don't want the population because they think that now we are putting a lot of pressure by demanding that we should own the resources, which they don't want, because that is what the document which was prepared by Henry Kissinger, is trying to attack. That document is trying to, to point at access to resources by the United States. and how the global population is going to affect the United States access to those resources. So when you fight against each other and they are pumping you up that go and fight, and they are
Mm-hmm.
telling you that you are fighting because of democracy, then they achieve that people like in ECOWAS, they will go and kill off our people.
Yeah.
Maybe the war will be brutal and each side will lose a lot of people. You will lose more than 1 million people, more than, people will die millions. They will achieve two things. They will take back the resources, and then we will have lost the people. So they will still be achieving the same objective which they set out in that document, which I've mentioned out, that was published by Henry Kissinger. I think it was in the 80s or or the 70s, around that time. He wrote that document, I think, for Nixon, President Nixon. That during that period, it was President Nixon, which was Nixon who was the president of the United States. So they will have achieved it twice, uh, an objective. So that is why we should always think carefully when it comes to these confrontations, and starting these confrontations and then throwing around the rhetorics without examining the reasons why we are going into the war and the confrontation against each other. So the future of the continent, somewhat at this moment, looks a little bit bleak. I will not lie to you, because of that, the tension which is uh, going on, the tension which we have currently on the continent is not a good sign, because the enemy is likely to capitalize that. And actually, we are giving the enemy a leeway to survive, because the enemy has been struggling and dying off. So when we kill each other, then we give the enemy an opportunity to be able to survive, and this would be very unfortunate. So I think that we need to pay close attention to what is happening and the choices which we are making, and especially this. I'm talking about ECOWAS, but also I'm talking about the other African heads of state across the continent. They have to intervene in this. They cannot leave this to ECOWAS to act however it wants and behave like thugs who are just fighting on the side of imperialists, while ignoring the interest of the African people and why these coups have been happening all over the continent.
Thank you very much, Kwame. Although I really wanted to cut you or to stop you and go to the next question, but it was really, really well analyzed, and all in all showed us one way or the other that how we all become an accomplice of the agenda of the West, whether we like it. Those who are going up front and saying, okay, let's fight the people of Niger, because this is what happened by the will of the people of Niger, like they are fighting really against the interest of the people of Niger. But those of us also who are silent, we are an accomplice of the Western agenda for not, voicing up against what's happening in this era of information, that we have all the information in our palms. But please, as I speak of information, those of you who are tuned here, thank you very much. But please subscribe, like, and share. I don't see the same amount of like with the number of that live viewers that we have here in the platform. It will help us. We do this. We bring you a research-based analysis. We really take our time. You all know, most of you, EZD, Black, CNS, Aaron. Really, many of you who are here, because you are always with us. I said welcome to Anton Dalema, Ainiah Nuno, you are here again. I saw you yesterday. Thank you very much, Anton. Thank you for reminding people to hit that like button. He said, or she said, it helps the algorithm. Yes, thank you very much. Now, CNDS, as usual, he's updating us and bringing information that's related to what we are talking about. Yes, we talked about Iran and Algeria yesterday, just briefly. But Algeria's was it Algeria's? What was his title? I don't know. Algeria's official was there in Moscow. I don't know whether he is a defense minister or something. And he gave us the right name of Memorandum 200 and Memorandum 46. What Kwame just talked. So saying this really for your continued input here. Thank you very much. Again, welcome the emperor. So we all thank you. But all of you, please subscribe, like, and share. It will help us. It will help us. We cannot keep this valuable information only between ourselves. We really have to reach out to many, and that will help also the people of Niger and others who we are talking about now. um let's go to Haiti. I really feel like we disrespect Haiti to talk about as a second subject here, because it's a country that needs, it's a topic by itself. It's not even enough with the usual live streaming that we do 1 hour, or maybe if it extended 1 hour 15, 1 hour 20 minutes, it's not enough really for Haiti. But we decided really to shed light on that as things. Haiti is part of Africa for us. Also, AU denies its request of membership, which it could have given a protection. I mean, I know. Don't tell me that AU failed to protect those even who are members, but we still want to say it out loud that AU has denied Haiti its request of membership. Now, before we go to the detail of why Kenya deployed the troops in Haiti and how it is welcomed by the US, what is the relation? Is Kenya, Ruto kind of falling in the trap of the US? Just give us a brief analysis, Kwame. You know our pressure in time of why Haiti is in chaos for decades.
Yeah, so there's a lot of problems in Haiti. Of course, we know. Let me just run through it very quickly. We know that Haiti was the first African country to get independence, and of course, outside of the African continent in 1804. And this Haiti actually is the one which led to the stoppage of slavery, contrary to what they normally tell you by these colonialists. They want to praise themselves as if they are the ones who stop slavery, yet they are the ones who are carrying it out. So it is Haiti that, when it was able to defeat France, that they saw the need to to stop slavery during that period, because of its fight, because of its warrior mentality. So ever since when Haiti got its independence in 1804, it has been blacklisted. It was blacklisted because it was the only black nation that had defeated the colonialists during that period. So Haiti was blacklisted by the all European group. You can talk of all the Europeans and the United States. So they refused to do business with Haiti. They isolated it. So it was sort of like sanctions on Haiti that Haiti had to suffer a lot. It suffered a lot for almost the next 200 years. And then France said that they would invade it with the United States if they did not pay reparations. The same thing which France is doing today in the West African countries, which are the former places where France colonized and brutalized the people. The same way it is treating them, that is the same way it treated Haiti starting with 1804. They said that if Haiti wants to be recognized as a country, as a republic, it has to pay reparations to France, which actually France was colonizing and brutalizing the people. So since that period, Haiti has paid almost up to when you look at President Bertrand, who came to power and tried to take France to the International Criminal Court so that it can be able to give back the money which it has been extracting from Haiti. I think they estimated up to around $150 billion as the money that Haiti has been paying to France. Now, on top of that, the United States considers the United States considers Latin America as its backyard from the Monroe Doctrine. So they have never allowed Haiti to act independently, like how you are seeing they have been disturbing Venezuela, disturbing Cuba, disturbing all these countries in El Salvador, Chile, and they have been even killing, a lot of people in Latin America by the United States sends military. So in the same spirit, it has been doing the same thing to Haiti, that the United States and Canada have been invading Haiti on multiple times. Like in 1914, they invaded Haiti. The United States invaded Haiti, and they took over the economy. They took over the political space. The United States has been the one which has been controlling the place. They stole even the gold which was being kept in the central bank in Haiti, and they took it to the United States and they kept it in Citibank, this bank which you see today. The Citibank actually is the one which initiated this tactic. Is the one which advised the United States that it should go and take over the economy and the political space of Haiti. So Citibank went and stole with the United States military. They went and stole that gold and kept it in New York. Up to now, they have never returned the gold since 1914. So the people in Haiti have been working for the Europeans to be well while they are impoverished. In the same way you are seeing what is happening in Africa, is the same sort of carbon copy that they are trying to implement across the African continent, and they have been implementing that in Haiti for the last 300 years, 200 to 300 years. So this is the problem that has been happening. Even when President Aristide Bertrand came to power, there's a good leader, very good leader who came to power, President Aristide, and he was very pained, and he had done some business. He was a preacher, and he decided to do something about the problems in Haiti and build back Haiti, build the schools. But the United States would not allow him. He came to power in 1993. So he worked very hard because he loved the country. What the United States did is that it has kept on fueling the divisions in Haiti. We have one class which they have created, the business class in the country, and is the class of the capitalists, which we have been talking about here. When you look at Nkrumah's book called a class struggle in Africa, it divides Africans into those ones who are working with the colonialists and those ones who are suffering and suffering every day with everyday life in making living a better life, working very hard to live a better life. These are the ones who are being oppressed. So this is what we are also seeing in Haiti, that the United States and the Europeans were able to create these two classes. Now they're always clashing. The tactic is the same, the divide and conquer tactic. Now the ruling class works with the metropolis, which is the United States, in oppressing the people in the country. When the people get a good president like President Aristide Bertrand, who came to power in 1993, and he's working for the poor, they do whatever they can. If they don't kill that person, if they don't kill the president, they overthrow the president and remove him. And the United States worked with these people. They came and kidnapped President Aristide from Haiti, and they took him to Africa. I think they first took him to Chad. From Chad, they took him with a plane with the United States military working with Canada. They took him to South Africa into exile, forced exile. They forced him into exile because of the changes he was making in Haiti during that period. And so this has been the predicament. So they have always installed dictators who have brutalized and stolen from the Haitian people. And it is simply because these Haitian people are Africans. They look at us as Africans. And that is why it is unfortunate for people who look at Haiti as some people who are different from us as Africans. And of course, some of these people, they are working with France. As you are seeing, ECOWAS is working with France. African Union also was working with France in denying Haiti, a place at the African Union, joining the African Union, which is very unfortunate. Now, recently, another president rose up who was called President Juvenal Moise, and he came to power and he started leading the country. President Moise Juvenal, he came to power in 2017, and he was making structural changes in the country and taking power from these bourgeoisie who control the economy, who control the country, and they are working with the metropolis. They are brutalizing and exploiting the people. He was also killed. They carried out a coup in the country, and some of those, people who they caught and they carried out this coup, and they killed the president. They assassinated the president. They were from the United States. Some of them, they were soldiers from the United States and Colombia. And of course, we know Colombia is in the pockets of the United States. So they killed President Juvenal, and they installed, and actually the country had settled. There was no chaos. But President Juvenal Moise, when he was killed, that is when people became very angry and the country started becoming unstable because they imposed on the country a president who the country doesn't want and who represents the interests of the bourgeoisie and the American ruling class in Washington. So that's the problem which we are seeing. So what is unfortunate is that when the United States and Europeans cause these problems across the world, they want to pull other people to come in and solve them, like what we are seeing in Ukraine. We saw in Somalia that President Museveni was pulled in to be able to be there to be the military guard in Somalia to put down the so-called Al-Shabaab. And yet it is the United States which went and destroyed Somalia in 1993 and attacked it. So now what we are seeing is that they are pulling also Rwanda and Kenya to go in, that they are going to train the Haitian police. That is what they claim, that the UN has been wanting people to go in and train the Haitian police, and the United States has been looking for these people to go and train the Haitian police. He has been looking for countries to go and train the Haitian police on how to police the country, as if the United States itself cannot do this, yet it claims that it is the one who is an expert on everything. I don't know how all of a sudden Kenya and Rwanda have become the experts on all these things which the United States claims that is the expert on. So this is what we are seeing in Haiti briefly as the cause of the problems and the chaos in the country.
Thank you very much, really, Kwame, for giving us, for laying that background regarding where, this decades of chaos comes from. One, I mean, many of you have contributed with regards to Haiti, but just let me say one fact, which is important. What CNDs have reminded us that Haiti is the first independent African country which deserves, or that deserves, a lot of respect. Indeed, it's even before the Battle of Adwa. Of course, our history, I mean, Ethiopian's history,
Absolutely.
all along battles, and many of them where the Ethiopians defeated the foreigners. But Haiti's victory is one of a kind that needs to be, people always saw, oh, Ethiopia is this and that, a symbol of freedom. I mean, look at us, where we are now. I don't take no pride in saying that, but we should not forget Haiti have lighted up in the beginning of the 18th century, actually. So that is one. Now, what was the name? Common Man 80, Anton Dalema, Sheikh Arabe, okay, Lailasser, also sometimes Lailasser, your comments confuse me. I am not gonna say anything now. Let's go to the next question, and if there is time, we will come back at your questions or doubts. So regarding those of you who are talking about the how do we know that the presence of Wagner? Sheikh Arabe said Prigzon, if I pronounce it good, of Wagner have already declared today that he supports Niger. That's what Sheikh Arabe told us. Now, regarding Haiti, since we laid that background for us, is William Ruto failing in a trap of being used by America and West to quell chaos it started in Haiti? Why is the West not going in itself, since it has caused these problems with multiple invasions of Haiti together, US, Canada, and France? I think you have touched this, but if there's anything to add, I mean.
Yeah. I think that if it was the African Union or the Africans themselves who have done a job within themselves and said that we are going to go to Haiti and help our brothers, our African brothers, to stabilize their country, or if Haiti has asked as Africans, then you would say that this is laudable. But Haiti has not asked, the Haitian people have not asked for this help. And first of all, these colonialists, they killed the Haitian president. They have been killing the Haitian presidents. I think this is the information. This is the history which the African leaders, when they are going to engage in these kind of schemes, they need to study the history. I've been critical of President Museveni's adventures in Somalia. And of course, we can discuss this, that Uganda is African country and Somalia is African country. So it's just good that they go there to help. But I think that it is necessary that, we study the history of the problem and be able to address it in the context of history, so that we don't just jump into things. So I think that people like President Ruto need to be really warned, and people in the African diaspora in the United States and everyone, Haiti, Caribbean, they need to write a letter to Ruto, and people like, the Prime Minister, Mia Mottley, is very close to President Ruto. They need to come out and talk to him and tell him and educate him on the history, so that he will not be used by these colonialists and their tactics. Because what they are doing is that they want to use now blacks against blacks, Africans against blacks. And this is what we are, the same thing which we have just spoken about. The using of ECOWAS to kill blacks in Haiti, while they are sitting and folding hands, because they know that now their people have recognized and realized their schemes. They don't want to do it themselves because people hate them right now. So the tactic now is to use us against each other, which is a trap. So you see that the UN is moving in that tactic. The UN itself has been involved in sending, in the 2000, I think it was 2003, the UN was involved in sending cholera to Haiti to infect the people of Haiti, knowingly, and a lot of people died. Almost 500,000 people died in Haiti. And the UN has never compensated. So these organizations, they are for imperialism. They don't care about us as black people, as African people. They do not care about. And these are the organizations which are telling Ruto and Kenya that he should go over there to, and send the police. I think 1,000 policemen from Kenya to go and train Haiti. Why is the United States not sending it itself? Because it fears that the people are hostile. In the same way you are seeing that they are chasing the military bases, the white man military bases from Niger. So they fear going there themselves. So now they think that they can use the Africans against themselves and kill each other, and then they will be on the side and clapping and saying we have achieved our objectives. So this is what we have to warn our leaders about, that this is a trap. This is a huge trap that is being set for them to kill each other, to kill our people with our own hands. And then we are going back to the same, era of slavery, where we had corrupt, heads of state and chiefs, selling our own people and killing our own people. So we are going back to that era, and it's the same white man who will be standing at the center and benefiting. So this is the unfortunate situation. And this is what we have been talking about, that if we are not careful, history repeats itself, and history will repeat itself. So this is a very unfortunate, situation for us.
Thank you, Kwame. I have a follow-up question. Although I am kind of covered, you kind of covered us for the questions that we have prepared, or I have prepared for today. I can bring comments from our comment section, but just clarify this for me. Look, in my mind, if people are, every time you see that the US or other foreign military in Haiti, now, if there is really a need for more peacekeeping mission or whatever, police, whatever it is, isn't it better? This is what also I'm sure a lot of other Africans share this view. Better to have an African, people who look like them, an African police to them, than continuing.
Yes. Yes,
if it was really
better.
starting as a Pan-African, if they have a Pan-African agenda, of course, if they are going to serve what the people of Haiti are requesting, that's in question mark. But isn't it one step ahead, at least?
Yes, it is better if the Haitian people say that they cannot manage their country. But the Haitian people have not said that they cannot manage their country. They cannot manage their security. If there is anyone who has stopped these people, who has failed the Haitian people and defeated them and disorganized them and destroyed their capability of managing their affairs, is the United States and Canada and the Europeans. Exploitation. When they get good leaders, they are building these institutions, because these are institutions which you have built. When they are building the institutions, the United States comes and destroys them. So it is good if they have asked for it, that they don't have the capability. But they have not said that they don't have the capability. They have the capability and they have done it before. They have done it. These people were slaves and they organized and defeated France and defeated Spain and defeated England. So you cannot say that they don't have capability of organizing an economy and security by themselves. They had organized it before and they were running an economy, and they paid reparations to France of more than $150 billion, which President Aristide, Bertrand was asking back and saying that this was extortion. It was illegal. And that's why he was trying to take the case to the International Criminal Court, International Court of Justice. And what did they do? The French worked with the United States to kidnap him and remove him from power. Because if the head of the state takes a case like this, then it is likely to gain attention across the globe. And you are going to pay reparations. You are going to pay back the money. France doesn't want to pay back this money. So he has to work with the United States and Canada and kidnap the president. So it is good we exchange. We want to exchange as Africans and work together. It's a good step if the people have asked for it. Not because the Europeans have asked that another group of Africans should go in and stand in for them. Why are they not standing in by themselves? The Europeans should go in. They should go in because they think that they are experts and they know everything, and they are the ones who have been destroying the place. So they should take responsibility. It's the same way that Somalia beat the United States in 1993, 1994. They ran out. So after running out, you cannot fight. You are cowards, and you are claiming that you are superpowers. You are cowards. You ran out of the country. They beat you over there. Now you are taking other Africans that they should go over there and stabilize the situation. In the first place, why did you run? Why did you go in there to destroy the place? So these are the questions I think which should be asked. But of course, many people will say, "Oh, we don't want to go there. We are looking at today." No, we cannot talk like that. We have to look at history, because without understanding history, we will repeat the same mistakes, and the same colonialists will continue to take advantage and thrive, because these colonialists are thriving because a lot of our heads of state have forgotten the history, and they have refused to remember the atrocities that these people have committed, against our people. So this is what I am seeing in this situation. It is good, but it is good, I believe, if the Haitian people and with their legitimately elected president have accepted and have called that they want Africa, they want help from Africa. They have come to Africa to ask for help. But right now, what we are seeing, they are resisting. The people are resisting the imposition by the United States. They are resisting the puppets which the United States has imposed on them. And it's the same situation we are seeing. Just recently, they killed the President Juvenal Moise. I think it was in 2000, 2020. It was in 2020 or 2021 when President Moise was killed. So these people have been killing the leaders who are stabilizing the country, building the country, and now they want the Africans to go and correct the chaos and stabilize the chaos. And even when the situation goes out of control, the Africans should kill each other while we are watching on the side. And then we will come in and with force, with a lot of force, stuff like that. This is what they want to do, because they have lost a lot of credibility across the world.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kwame. You have just nailed it. Now I will go to Baby. I mean, I have a lot of things to say and to come back for Kwame to comment on, but I will give this opportunity to our viewers. And let me run through the comments quickly. I will try to take one from each of you. Okay, so Ainia said the Niger coup has exposed and shown clearly that ECOWAS and AU are not working for the interest of Africans, but working for the interest of NATO and, of course, France. Yes, very true. EZD it reminds us, okay, I think the citizens of the ECOWAS countries will protest if their government intervene into this internal issue. I doubt. I really doubt us. I don't make myself outsider, but I doubt how we Africans sometimes really act. We have all the information, but we have uh, been just standing by the corner, as Bob Marley said it, and while letting many of our revolutionary leaders have been assassinated, so all we have is at the end just that freedom song, and yeah. What do I say? Or rebel in the social media. I'm not sure if we are taking acts, but hopefully we will. Okay. Common man, if ECOWAS gets involved with the new Niger government, they will have chaos in their countries because the people of their countries know that Niger is 100% correct. Laila says Senegal and Ivory Coast have already said they will send troops. Can Niger defend itself? Its defense was based on scraps from France. Algeria can intervene and support Niger. That would be a game of okay. Laila sir, I really promised I'm not gonna read your comment, but I just did by mistake. Anton Dalema, Haiti slave rebellion sent shock waves through slave colonies and largely seen as a monumental event behind abolition movement. Seeing this, the people of Haiti, if not want foreign, do not want, I think, foreign forces in their country. True. All of us do not want that. Africans. Good. Okay. US promoted a coup d'etat in Brazil in 2016, car wash operation, lawfare against Dilma Rousseff and Lula. Yeah. Who else is there? How is Senegal? Sheikh Arabi says, how is Senegal going to send troops to Niger if it has to repress its own?
Yeah, there's a lot of demonstrations in Senegal right now. A lot of demonstrations going on, and
Yeah,
also the people. Actually, there has been demonstrations since 2000, and people have been also those who have been demonstrating. They have been attacking French businesses. They don't. They are very tired
yeah.
of French activities in Senegal. So France is not wanted anywhere, and they know that. And this is what is causing the fear, which I say that even when you look at the French media, at France 24, they are terrified. Even you see that the anchors, the news anchors and commentators, they are speaking, but they are terrified what is going to happen to us if we lose Africa, if we lose these African resources, what is really going to happen to us. So you can see it in their eyes, and even when they are talking, it is very
By the
fearful.
way, for your information, I have read somewhere scrolling today on news on my Google alert that by 10% or something, France has increased the electricity something. I read that. I mean, I was like, wow, so soon to take this action. But maybe that needs to be verified. But I'm sure I read that early morning today. Welcome, Sinovia. It has been long. It really, we are really happy to see you here. The emperor said, I just say he. Okay, so it seems despite the Pan-African overtures, Ruto is just another Western puppet. Well, I really don't want us to rush into that conclusion.
Yeah, I think, let me just say something. I think that these heads of state, they don't know everything. So in some cases, actually, you just need people to reach out and speak to him. Like for me, immediately when I heard this, the first thing which came to my mind is that the African diaspora and people like in the Caribbean, African diaspora, especially in the Caribbean, they need to write to President Ruto and teach him about the history of this country and point to him that the people who are trying to send you there, they are the people who have caused the chaos that you are seeing over there. So do not go there. I think this should be the position before, he goes there. So I think on one side, he may have the Pan-African rhetoric. It may be true, but on the other side also, he may not know everything. Being a president, it doesn't entitle you to know everything. I think that is how we should look at it in this situation.
Yeah, and also he's young, and he does not come from the same background like the other leaders, but that doesn't mean that he will not have the information. But for your surprise, sometimes really the information that we put on the platform, on social media, and everywhere, the information that comes from the citizens, from the civil society organizations, it's informant, really. It's useful for the people who are sitting in the administration, in the government. You think that they know everything, but trust me, they don't know. I'm just telling you from this Ethiopian experience. Now, EZD said exactly, Kwame, what Haiti wants is a free elections, and that's it. But there are some external forces in play to prevent that from happening. The US have a person as a president. True, I mean, most of the presidents who are loved, let me say that, who are really loved and popularized by their own people came through protest or a military coup or something. Those by free, I mean, there are, I'm not going to dismiss, but that's not the case most of the time. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you are not wrong. You are not wrong, Mahlet.
The CNA said the collective West has never forgiven Haiti for revolting successfully and defeating the imperial powers. Very true. So that thing of forgive and forget in quotation doesn't apply. It's used to hoodwink Africans. Yeah, I mean the French. They will never again. France here also in Haiti. The humiliation, yeah, they will never forget. And they are making us Haiti, the people of Haiti, to pay back. From cholera to earthquake and everything in between. They are giving, they are making the people of Haiti to suffer. Sheikh Arab, okay, Anton Dalema, he's commenting on one Sheikh Arab. He said the Clinton Foundation was just one in a batch of elites that rushed in to capitalize Haiti's pain following hurricane. Shock doctrine, in quotation, is cormac of neoliberalism. Yeah, and Sheikh Arabi has argued one of the most notorious Clinton Foundation scandals was building an industrial park of foreign U.S. interest in state housing, hospitals, and schools following hurricane.
Yeah, so the work of the capitalists has always been to take huge countries and give them to a few people to enrich a few capitalists, a few American capitalists, and that is what we see the situation of Haiti. Actually, they had done this with also Cuba when Cuba got its independence in 1904. They immediately, the capitalists from the United States took over Cuba, and they made it almost into a brothel. That is where they used to go and carry out fornication, people like Bush and all those groups of capitalists. So they took over the lands. So this is what, and they were claiming that it is, it is a democracy. They were sponsoring dictators like Batista, the one who was overthrown by President Castro and Che Guevara. So they had to fight and overthrow these puppets. So this situation is a little bit similar with what is happening in Africa today, but because it was after Cuba came and Castro came and overthrew this Batista, who was a dictator and was being supported by the United States to exploit the people and impoverish them. He came after around 50 years, almost 50 years, in the second half of the first century after independence. And when you look at what is happening in Africa also, these events today are starting to happen, heavily. We are just after in the second part of the first century after independence. So it looks like after 50 years of independence in Africa, we have been almost 60 years. People realize that things are not working. These people are just lying to us that democracy, the so-called democracy, works. And so people start becoming discontented. And this is, because I like history, because I like history because I understand that history repeats itself, and that is why I see sometimes things in this kind of way. But when you look at what happened in Cuba, I started speaking about this, and in 2017, and I said that what happened in Cuba is likely to happen in Africa. If you look at the situation which is happening, or if you look at what is happening in Africa, the discontent, the lack of social and economic upward mobility. So what happened in Cuba is likely to happen in a lot of African countries, and that is what we are seeing right now, about 5 years later on.
Yeah, history is really important. I love history also, because if you bring that historical background for anything that we discuss in Africa or even to the world, because they all have been repeating their system, it all make sense, and it helps you even to predict what's happening next. Yeah. Pan-Africanism is internationalist like the Cuban internationalism. Is that a statement, Sheikh Arabi, or are you asking? Um, Aaron, welcome, Aaron. Why don't he asked? Why don't you try to discuss the 11 forced agreements imposed by France to the African countries? I mean, to make a separate program for another day. Thank you
We
very much.
will.
Yeah,
We
this is
will.
what
That
we
is
asked.
a suggestion.
Yeah,
That's a
our
good
viewers.
suggestion.
Yeah. We have done it, when the first time Mali revolted and the military took power. That was like, I don't know, 2 years ago. We even brought an analyst, a social media influencer activist from Mali, and he kind of went through it. But it's always important. People always get surprised when, if you see, what when Pierre Lumumba talks about what France does in these Western African countries, when Madame Chimbori, Dr. Arikana talk. So you see that how still, there are many Africans who are not informed of the continued French colonization in West Africa. So it's good even, to make a program about it again. But then, yeah, he also warns us, but you have to make it in detail and extensive manner. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I think we should do it, Malik. I think we should take that
Yeah, yeah.
we should note it down and try to do it. We'll
Okay,
do
so
some research.
yeah,
We'll go and do
one
research
last.
on it.
Definitely. If we can try also, if we can bring, we have asked yesterday here, if there are, activists from these countries, Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, we will really happy to have you here. So please contact us via our email. Our email address is in the description section. Allende in Chile, destabilization for the purpose of capitalizing national and human resources is fundamental to neoliberalism. Okay, very good. That was it for us. I tell you, we are very candid here at Connect Africa. We said, okay, we have been updating our people through the day. We just touched one issue on Niger, and then briefly on Haiti, because I know Haiti is a big topic. But again, look at us. We planned 30 minutes. We are here 1 hour and 17 minutes to be exact. But do we regret it? No, we are so happy and passionate, and really whenever we see you engaged, it makes us that we are fulfilled. This is what we want. But again, we want you also to go out and reach for more people, share it to your network. Please subscribe. I'm sure there are people here who are not subscribed but tuning here, which we have no problem, but it will help us to the YouTube algorithm if you really subscribe. Hit that like button, and then more to share it to your network. Let's empower
Yes, and if we have some people from Latin America and the Caribbean, they should share it. If we have some people in Haiti,
exactly.
they should share also this information. Comment down in the section what you want to discuss, what you want us to discuss, and we will bring these topics and discuss them, because we are the same people. We Africans, whether you are in Haiti, whether you are in the United States, we are the same. Whether you are on the African continent, we are the same Africans, and we face the same oppression. So it is high time that we start working together as Africans. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And next time we talk about Haiti, I think I have a question for you, Kwame. Really, we need to analyze our those heads of states, both in Africa and then in the Caribbean, how they are so Pan-Africanist in their speech. People like Ruto and Mia Motley. But again, we have people on the other side. There is a lady actually from Haiti who are kind of doubting the move by Barbados. But again, if there is anyone from Haiti, Barbados, let us hear you, as Kwame said. Thank you. Oh, that's important question. Let me just read that from Anton Dalema. Do Niger people have access to internet right now? I don't know. Do you know, Kwame?
Yeah, it will be difficult because I think they were claiming that when Nigeria switched off the light, the electricity, they switched off almost, the energy was switched off in 90% of the major major city, Niamey. So that could be a problem. There could be a problem there that the internet is a really an issue. So they could be running generators and all that, or maybe it's likely that Algeria may come in and help them with some cheap energy to use to be running generators or something. So, but I'm not sure. But I'm just speculating, based on what has been running on the news when it comes to to Nigeria cutting off the electricity to the country.
Yeah, let's know. Even before this crisis, only 13%, 13% of the people of Niger have access to electricity. More than 80%
Yeah,
not have. Now that
yeah,
the 70% of electricity, again out of that 13%, is cut thanks to Nigeria, then yeah, we can imagine the situation. But we really want them one way or the other if they have, even people in diaspora. So let's discuss. Thank you very much. Have a good night and have a good evening. Tomorrow again, we will try to keep on updating you on Niger. Please go and see, in our channel, in the homepage, all the things that we have been doing regarding Niger since the end of last week. So every day we have produced a video, one or two, every day, consecutively. And please check out that. Let's not forget the people of Niger, the people of Mali, Burkina Faso, the people of Sudan. That's a forgotten conflict, which I feel like I have thousands of words to say. We all are not talking about it. We become the victim of the West propaganda now. They want whatever they want, put it on the mainstream, and we get carried away. And then we forgot really what we need to talk about. Yes, Niger is important, but we have also other places. Wow.
yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, if you, I see a lot of comments here. Please continue to contact to comment in after the stream is over. And what else? And to contact us via email. It's in the description section. And follow us on Twitter. We will be following up. Thank you. Bye bye. Ciao.
Bye bye, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.